Welcome back. Time for our Capitol Report with Pat McGuigan with CapitolBeatOK.com. Pat, let's talk presidential politics. We're now less than a month away from the Iowa caucuses and the start of the primary season. As we move forward, kind of break it down. How is this? How do you think it's going to break as we head into this?
Let's talk about the Republicans first, because there's the most interest on that side in terms of volatility. January 3rd, Iowa, the caucuses. That's going to kick everything off. There's been a lot of straw polls, but that's when delegates actually start getting selected. Then January 10th, 1 month from today, in the cold of New Hampshire, where I spent a few weeks back in 1988, New Hampshire voters will actually have the nation's first primary, the long-standing tradition. Turnout will probably be high. Then January 21st, in South Carolina, the first Southern primary, and then a big one for these early stages, at least, Florida, January 31st, winner-take-all primary. Could be big on the Republican side. Now, at the moment, the volatility in the polls has been intriguing. At the moment, the leader is Newt Gingrich in 3 out of 4. Romney is leading in New Hampshire. Gingrich got the New Hampshire Union Leader endorsement, which could be helpful to him. Undoubtedly will be helpful to him. But Romney running strong, but second in the other 3. Some erosion for Romney. Now, the way this campaign season has gone in terms of Republican polls, who knows what all that means. Gingrich is now coming under increasing not only scrutiny from the media, which he's endured all along, but now starting to take some shots from his colleagues. It's been relatively friendly among the Republicans with a couple of exceptions, but now we're getting down to the end, and I think there's a good chance that's going to change, the friendliness.
The Oklahoma primaries in early March, and toward that end, the filing period was this past week, and President Obama drew 3 opponents here. No surprise to you?
Yeah, people that bother to run, I'll mention them briefly. Bob Ely, I believe of Illinois, who is running all over the country. It's not he's bragging that he'll be the most unpopular president in American history because of his determination to both raise taxes and cut spending. Randall Terry, West Virginia, well known for Operation Rescue from a couple of decades ago. Controversial guy. Brags on his website he's been arrested about 40 or 50 times. Pro-lifer, might be able to attract some of the existing pro-life Democrat vote. And finally, Jim Rogers. I used to laugh about Jim Rogers being a perennial candidate, and he is. However, he got the nomination for the U.S. Senate and took the Democratic banner into the November election in 2010 against Tom Coburn, and was handily defeated. But those are the 3 guys running. Now, real quickly, the president probably doesn't have to worry about those folks. I think the president is concerned, and there's been some responsiveness in some of his comments to things like James Carville criticizing him. A website I read a lot, Fire Dog Lake, which is a kind of intellectual left, very hardcore liberal, progressive, if you will. They're very critical of the president, and that's building some critical mass. And finally, I think the president only needs to get concerned if somebody like Hillary Clinton gets talked out of his administration and into a race. If that doesn't happen, he'll probably be the nominee of the Democrats, and it'll be a rough and tumble general election.
There's a lot of talk this week about the Quality Jobs Act. Talk about that. What is that here in Oklahoma?
Well, real quickly, it's one of the programs that actually Chairman David Dank, who's been pretty critical of some of these tax credits, exemptions, incentive programs, it's one of the programs that's pretty well regarded, costs the state about $60 billion a year, has a lot of strings, if you will, attached, unlike some of the programs, has a lot of demands in the system requiring performance by businesses that get the benefits, and it only goes to creation of really quite good jobs by Oklahoma standards, including benefits and relatively high pay. So there's a thumbnail of the Quality Jobs Program, which, is a prelude to what we want to talk about next.
What's the controversy surrounding
Well, the controversy is that Bill Bartman of CFS started a new company, CFS2. People might remember the original CFS, which was a huge company, had several thousand employees across the state of Oklahoma. Tulsa and Shepherd Mall here in Oklahoma City was their location. And they went belly up in a very rapid sequence back in 1998 and went bankrupt. There was 2 charges filed. 1 man went to prison for a few years. Bill Bartman did not go to prison, was not convicted. Well, they got $9 million promise to help create up to another 500 jobs, and that's provoking a lot of scrutiny. It was a surprise.
So will there be some reform?
Well, I think the question that some people at least have is, certainly forgiveness. Somebody was acquitted. Forgiveness is certainly understandable. I guess the question is, should this company be able to resurrect itself, Mr. Bartman be able to resurrect himself on our nickel?
Right.
And the answer some people give is no. He shouldn't. So there will at least be scrutiny. It's a successful program, Quality Jobs program is, so I suspect it'll still be around.
All right, well, you can read more about these and other topics at capitalbeatok.com. Pat, thank you. We'll see you next week.